That nigga was a racist. Calling people cotton picking. Yeah, cotton picking. See, what he was referring to was people that were considered lesser of, which were cotton pickers, even if it wasn't slavery times. Oh yeah, you're cotton picking. That's derogatory because he was a Southern rebel with the Confederate fucking flag, and we grew up with that shit. Right? Yeah.
It's all programming. It's all programming.
Oh, damn. That's why them niggas fighting over the flag, bitch niggas. Them niggas with that bullshit.
Let's start it off righteous. Let's start it off right. Welcome to the Watermelon versus Pumpkin podcast. Let's get it going. I don't understand life anymore. Like, listen, I didn't write anything down because we have an embarrassment of riches. There is too much shit going on right now.
It's like, which one do you start with? Which way do you go? You know what I mean? It's like, what pops out? I've been entangled in a lot of the sports world and shit, so, you know, a lot of these guys, my man, the only fucking black NASCAR guy, you know, that's where I was segueing, I guess, probably to that one.
Bubba
Wallace, you know what I mean?
Christopher.
Like, damn, I feel like obligated as a people to represent. It's hard for me to kind of be down here, even though he's like, shit, yeah, he's mixed. I think he's black, man. They label him black. Oh, the black guy, right? Black Bubba. You're talking Black Bubba. You know it's you know what I mean? Yep. NASCAR is a dominantly like Southern white sport. You know what I'm saying? It's just not many other ethnic groups involved in it. You know what I'm saying? It's, I don't know if it's just pure, you know how to fight it, or people just don't want to. It's not an interesting thing to them. It's not a poor man's sport. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, who the hell has places and times for your local inner city kid to do that besides their parents having to shit?
It's weird, you know. It's not a poor man's sport, but most of their audience is white trash and poor. It's not a poor man's sport, but it's a poor audience sport. You can put it that way.
It's a poor, like, that's all right. You don't worry about that. But I'm talking about the guys that could actually go there and sit
the guys that are participating and driving.
Right.
Yes.
It's all sponsorships. You know, those guys are fucking walking promos, man. You see the cars, the fucking things they're wearing and shit, man. It's logo after logo after logo. You know, you got to stay. NASCAR is like, yo, listen, man. You know how many people are embedded in this NASCAR shit? I don't give the flag and what's going on in the country. Oh, yeah, it's out. You know, that's almost why they did it. You know what I mean? But then you got that guy, what the hell's his name? The NASCAR driver that said, I'm dropping out.
See, and that speaks to how much he fucking matters, because what's his fucking name? It doesn't even matter. It was a small little blip, like, okay, cool. Right. You're going to die on that hill? Go ahead. There you go.
We're not talking about Jeff Gordon here. You know what I'm saying? Names you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I don't even watch racing, but I know you know a couple of names. Bubba Wallace. Yeah. You know what I mean? Guys have been around for a bit, you know? Yep. Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt.
Junior.
You know what I mean? You know? But it's like, come on, man. Let's get together. And it's funny because they were saying when that guy was like, oh, you're going to count us out this season. And then somebody, I think it was LeBron Witty with his shit. He said, hey, you know, all right, good for him. Guy got no wins, so good luck with you. I'm glad you quit.
Yeah.
You quit in your career with 0 NASCAR fucking wins, any speedway wins.
Yep.
You're really hurt NASCAR, buddy. You are the truth. You know what I mean?
Well, it just shows, man, that some people really are just on the other side of it. Like, you know how nowadays that people are taking down statues and they're all that? Yeah. Bro, you know what I couldn't fucking believe? They removed fucking slave auction blocks off the fucking street. Like, yo, when I tell you, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
They got places that still got shit like that?
Exactly. Which is where I'm like, how the fuck is that? Like, how?
I
oh
feel
my
like,
God, how?
Unless that's being used as a terrible teaching lesson, if you're not teaching, and it's just like, oh, that's what it was, we kept it there. I don't know. I mean, some people are like, yo, man, it's in my face every fucking day as a reminder. But if the teaching don't belong, if it don't match with it, man, it's not, you know what I mean?
It was, I believe it was like in Kentucky or something like that, to where it was.
And my thing is, I know, because people are like, oh, man, they're destroying the country. And listen, man, to me, they're just statues. I don't give a fuck, man. These guys, it doesn't really, to me, I can, you know, a statue come down, I'm not going to lose sleep. I'll be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally honest. There's like, you know, I'm a patriotic person. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. I do love, you know, what I'm about and how I was raised and where I live and people I love and what I do love about this shit. But for something on that bucket of people being all tense, man, and keep that out of
Yeah.
because you know real history or real shit, so it really doesn't bother. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, that shit kind of stood for something real fucked up. So I really, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's take it down.
Yeah, that's my thing is like, I don't know enough about all the statues to care, but yeah, I could not fucking believe that there was still a fucking auction block that was still up. Like, that's fucking woo.
And I understand it for maybe some of the lineage of that person, of like, oh, that was my great granddaddy. He probably brought his fucking generations of kids to go look at the statue, and that's your great granddaddy. You know what I mean? And now it's not there, but now you get pictures, this video, and he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? It was different back in 1896, where you think it really captured the moment of really trying to tell you something. But
Yeah.
this one, all right, you're just gonna have to live it out and believe it and see some drawings.
I hope that it's still going on.
Right. Some dry still pictures, 1700.
Well, it looks like I guess they're gonna try to always claim that the jury is still out, but I mean, people aren't dropping dead in the streets over no fucking corona, big wave, big comeback. I don't know, man. Like, maybe there's a little bit more time we got to wait, but people are out.
We got three. I just saw this morning 3 states that are spiking high after reopening: Florida, Texas, and Arizona.
Okay.
Those are the 3 states, according to, I think it was AOL.
There's something that Trump keeps talking about, but I don't believe he knows how to talk about it correctly. Do you know if this is also incorporated with higher testing right now? Because that's another thing to think about, to where now I don't trust it because I don't understand it, because it went from so hard to get to completely free. Because now where we are, COVID-19 tests are free. You can go and they're free to get. Anybody can get one now. You had no appointment, nothing.
Brother,
free.
I got a little story about that one too, but I don't know if you interject right now or that. But I got one, so I know I did get it.
Let me button it up and then we'll toss it back to you. That shit kind of freaks me out that there's none of that. So what I'm saying now is, I believe that we're probably testing more than ever. I'm not saying that there isn't a spike, but I'm saying I wonder how much more we're testing than we were before. Because something that Trump said that people shit on him for, but he just doesn't know how to say it right. He's like, listen, if we stop testing now, there's no new COVID cases. There's a balance between the amount that you test people and the amount of COVID cases, because who knows how many fucking people have it. It's how many we test, and that's how it fucking goes. Like,
that's how it's going, right? And now, as it still talks of like cures or medicines, like, is that even a thing still?
I haven't heard Bill Gates' name in a couple of weeks, right? Like, where did he go?
Right. Is this another ploy to like, all right, shit is getting crazy. Guys, it's Corona. Yeah, shut it down again. Go back in the bubbles. It was so happy when we were in the bubbles. Nobody got hurt. Nobody did nothing. Let's go back in the bubble. I said some fucked up shit like that the other day because, it was a lot quieter on my block, but it's summertime.
My block.
I'm closer to the beach over here, so there's a little traffic, little foot traffic, small. No super hood foot traffic how I came from. Yeah. But it's it was enough to be like, I sat there on the porch and somebody came by, yelling some dumb shit or something, or I was just like, I miss Corona. I miss it was that feeling. Like, I miss the quarantine was, it was nice. I need to contract it and give it out here as a bad joke. It's a very bad joke, but at the time it felt good. Like, I need to get that because I just want people to go back into their bubble. Yep. the dumb people that you're encountering, like the guy at the fucking bank that day. I almost got into almost had to flip and spit on him.
Let him know. Well, man, I could tell you like this. Yeah, I didn't hate the time when everyone was like, I didn't hate it, man. It wasn't.
Not at all. Listen, I went through I had a little surgery the other, had a gallbladder removed. We out here like a boss though. We back on the game. Eating good things. I know. It's the fatty shit. I get it. Like, I'm eating grapes in the morning. Leave me alone. But and just going through that, and that was the first time I kind of, even throughout the whole quarantine, because I was still kind of was moving and working, essential cats out here. So then I sat and I was stuck here, but it was a different, vibe. I'm in some pain and whatever, in a different quarantine when it's like, oh man, this really sucks that I feel like you can't go nowhere. At least I was able to leave, and I had to go to work, so I didn't really feel. And I only did this was 4 days of me feeling like, damn,
Yeah.
I get house, man. But it wasn't like I was maxing and relaxing either. I was in some pain, so discomfort more, you know. And I was just like, well, shit. But it felt different. This was a different. This is not everybody's not quarantined with me.
Yeah, that's I was talking to one of my boys yesterday, and I know I didn't have this, and I know you too. We did not have the same experience that a lot of the country did during this quarantine. Like a lot of the country was home for 2, 3, 4 months.
Right.
That's an entirely different feeling from what we went through. Like,
right. I mean, granted, after working, it was home. There's no. I mean, listen, we didn't have secret places that we went.
Yeah, yeah.
That were open just for essential people. Everything that was shut down to y'all was shut down to us. You know what I mean? But
to be able to leave the house for 8, 9 hours is a big fucking deal when you can't.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, shit. It was more scary than anything. I mean, we got my hands got dry as shit out there, man. Well, just fucking sanitizer, real shit. I'm fucking peeling. I got to counter-react. Sanitize, cocoa butter.
Yo, we have such different fucking war stories than the generations before us. Yeah, man, my hands were really dry. These motherfuckers were ducking bullets, and we're just like, yeah, man, my hands, there's a lot of sanitizer. We are the greatest generation.
I can't tell nobody's life but mine, man. You
exactly.
know what I mean? I could talk about those was happening to them, man, but hey, man, I wasn't ducking bullets. God bless, man.
I know.
Above and whatever, man. And that, hey, it put me in a position where I ain't have to duck a bullet. Yep. Luck,
no,
fate.
I think one of the things that Corona did as well, I'm seeing advertisements now telling people to go back to the hospital. Like, I just saw on TV, there's advertisements being like, if you don't feel good, blah, 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 if you're having chest pains, if you have, like, basically, they're like, yo, come back for everything that you haven't been coming back for. Like, how everyone stopped going to the hospital just because for everything. Now they're, like, promoting the hospital again. I'm like, yo, guys, you got a problem, come on down.
We got you.
We your business again.
They give it, they're slinging them tests like hotcakes, man. But interjecting with the gallbladder being removed, in order to get that surgery, I had to get a test. Hence, that all tying in or whatever.
No, henceforth,
beyond up and down vertical challenge. Why I had to get a COVID test. So it wasn't like I just want to put that out there. I didn't have symptoms. I wasn't one of those cases of like, I'm not feeling well, let me get it. It's like, nah, you got to get this surgery pre-op. You got to get this test first. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm going to see what it's about. What is this COVID test? I don't know what if it's still doing the nose thing, the finger prick or whatever, blood. So you basically go to these locations. You're in your car the whole time. You never get out your car. You go to these locations. There's somebody directing. They got the security there or whatever, cop or whatever. All right, pull up, stay here, get up. What's your, they're all fucking, they're geared up. They got the mask. They're all hazmated, suit up, looking. Your name, your birthday, boom, boom, boom. Get all that. Okay, move to the next section. You're on to the next station. They come out, verify. You got it. They tell you the instruction. Boom, somebody's gonna come up to you. Keep this paper in your window so they know when you can get out to exit the parking lot. So this all instructional, pulling up, and they got like sign, like a car wash almost, but for fucking a medical car wash. You're at the car wash, and the guy's like, "But all right, right there." Like I had to stop at an exact location. I don't know. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm here. So then the lady comes up. She's like, all right, I'm making sure. I'm like, okay, yo. She goes and she pulls out her little kit. She's got it all popping. So this is the nose joint. All right. So she goes, all right, I'm just going to, I'm going to insert this. All right. And she says it. Then the bitch violates. I call her that. I'm sorry, no disrespect. She was a nice lady. I don't mean to say that. But my inner self, after being violated this way, I want to call her that. And it's not her fault. But anyways, she jams it, but then she slides this in. Now it goes in and it's like up to your brain and shit. You're like, oh. Then she slides this one in. All right, 15 seconds. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. Yo, and I'm like, oh, she said, they don't tell you. She didn't tell you that it's going to be a 15-second insert. She slipped it in and then said 15 seconds. And I'm just, so now like one eye is closed. I'm squinting, you know what I mean? It's like the other one's watering, you know what I mean? Because it's up deep,
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, 10. Or she was like 5. All right. And I'm like, she's like 10. I'm like, the longest 15 seconds of my life.
Holy shit.
You know, and then she's like, all right, good. And it's like, oh, I told her she owed me a drink. I was like, listen, you owe me a drink for that one. I'll be back for that. Rain check. Let me get a rain check, boo, because woo, that test, I'm dropping grapes. Yo, that test is real.
Violation.
Woo. But I did come back negative, so bless the God.
Nice.
You know, even though, hey, look, we both marched out there. You know, we did just go expose ourselves to a good mass size of crowd.
Yeah.
But it was weird because we were exposed to it, but still was at a safe distance. You know, wasn't a lot of hugging. I wasn't hugging a lot of strangers. You know,
and I still feel like I think we are in better shape for being deemed essential and working this whole time because we've been in the grocery stores. I've been everywhere. You know, like I try to do the self checkout, but there's been plenty of times that I've gone and I have to go to a real person and they're wearing gloves. And I'm like, how long have you been wearing gloves and how many fucking things have you touched? You know what I mean? And then they touch all your stuff and you're just like, fuck, I try to wipe everything off the best I can. But that's going to be an interesting thing. How
these places
people that have really been home for 4 months, what's your immune system like when you're coming back out? Because what germs have you been exposed to? You most likely been home, Lysol and fucking everything and cleaning everything. So
first thing touch you going down.
Yeah.
Slight cold, slight whatever. It's like, shit got me. Yup, hands up.
It's gonna hit hard. Exactly. Hands up.
Listen, I'm seeing these spots, man. So shout out to my baby girl who just turned 11 last week. So right before my surgery was her birthday the day before. So I took her shopping. That's what she wanted to do. 11, that's what they started doing. She want to go shopping.
Yeah.
You know, damn, my cat bugging out. She want to go shopping and buy shit. So we're going to go to the mall because the mall's open now.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dead as shit, though. Not every store was open. Let me get that out there. Not every store in the mall was open. Majority, the food was open and clothing. You know what I mean? That was in sneakers type shit. You know, footwear, clothing. Even though actually we went in Claire's. Claire's does all like jewelry and shit for the girls. You know, she's a girl, so we wouldn't. She's a girly girl. So she likes all that jewelry, necklaces. So you know, Dad had to sit there and like, yeah, look at this one, Dad. Look at it. Yeah, that's it. I'm like, yep. You gonna get it? So now I'm trying to help her get. I'm like, I'm open up, get whatever. But it was very everybody had a mask on, so employees, everybody, it's like mandated to be in there with it. You know what I mean? So they do have a thing where you're not trying on clothes, and as of right now, you can't bring them back. So you're taking a stab in there. If you're a person like myself, usually likes to try shit on because shit different things, like when them odd shaped motherfuckers, this ain't the time for you to go shopping for clothes. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna go in there and be like, it looks like it should, and then you get home, it's like, fuck. And then now you go back and because we had to do this, she brought some stuff back that we tried to get for I think it was a swimsuit she bought for her daughter, my lady, and she had tried to bring it back, like, yeah, no, especially a swimsuit, like, nah.
Yeah, that's touching everything in the
that ain't
spots.
happening. That not gonna happen. Because I think what they're gonna have to start doing, which they're like prepping to do now, is like returns are gonna be like they have to steam clean them. Like, so there's got to be a room. They're probably going to have a higher unit of people just back there steaming return clothes.
Sanitizing everything, yeah.
You know, so.
And then I wonder, now, are we going to get into the business of they have to let you know that this was an item that was purchased and worn by someone else and returned? Because when you buy something brand new, you expect that shit to be brand new. And especially with today's times, like, you're probably going to want to know if someone else had bought this and put it on. Like, regardless of how many times you're cleaning that shit.
Right. Who's cutting corners, right? Who cutting corners out here? Because you know what? Every good business is a bad business.
True.
You know what I mean? It's like, not everybody wants to abide by these rules. Like, yeah, should be all right. Who gonna know? Right.
I think gyms opened up today. I think Planet Fitness opened up today.
Today is phase 2. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. How is that gonna work? Because I have a what you call it, Edge Fitness.
Edge Fitness.
Yeah.
I got an email from Planet Fitness, and they had said, like, you know, they're going to do, they didn't say in, you know, what exact order, but they said some of the machines are going to be shut down. Like, I'm sure that they're talking about treadmills and stuff. There'll probably be one treadmill, no treadmill, one, you know.
Right.
Some of the stuff will be out of order. Everybody's working on everything the best they can. I don't know. It should be interesting to see. Like, and I think it's going to be cool to get the temperature of just everyone involved. Like, am I going to go there and that shit's going to be blown out packed, or am I going to go in there and just be like, oh, okay, only me? You know, I wonder how it's going to be.
Right. And now they have to have an abundance of, you know, because usually they got that little sanitizer station with the wipes.
Yeah.
But, you know, not everybody utilizes that. Now it's like, do they have more of those? You know, more touchless sanitized stations even, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the way to go if they're going to save money. I'm pretty sure either save on, because it's like trash or money, how you saving, because it's like you're going to get a lot of trash for a lot of wipes, or is it going to, you know, be more to buy sanitizer to keep filling up dispensers that, you know, automatic.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think about stuff too. Like, think about the machines that people share. Like, say, like a lat pull down machine that, like, you sit on, pull down.
Yeah.
Like, yo, people sweat heavy in the gym. Like, how's that gonna work?
That's true, man. People are sweating, and they're gonna tell people you got to wear a mask. Who the fuck? I don't know. I don't know if I could work out with a mask on.
I'm not trying to be on a treadmill with a fucking mask.
I mean, I've seen these videos of athletes doing it. Where they got those masks where it's supposed to help you breathe better or something like that.
Yeah, the high altitude joints.
Right. But I'm like, I don't know. I mean, who wants to work out with a mask, man? Especially if you're a face sweater like me. My nose, when I sweat, it comes like around my nose. There are always areas when you sweat. It's weird. It's like everybody, if you look around the gym, everybody has different. It's like everybody's working out, but everybody's sweat stains are different.
Yeah.
In a weird sense, like, look at his back is drenched, and it's like this guy's working his ass off because I'm seeing him, but his back is not, his shirt's not as wet as it probably looked like. Is he sweating? I'm watching him sweat his ass off because like what he's doing, you know what I mean? But so people have different sweat glands, man.
That's true. Yo, some people just sweat different. Listen.
Your sweat different than mine. Stop. But you know, if somebody's like you said, somebody leaking buckets, man, is there going to be like somebody's job, or is it your job to be that? You got to be that. It's going to be your job to clean that whole station down.
They're going to have somebody that works there just be patrolling the whole time, because think about, man, I've done that shit a million times. Like, use the treadmill and then just like hit stop and get off, because I'm like, all I did was turn the shit on and run on it. Like, I didn't sweat all over it, but I'm sure now it's going to. You probably there's going to be more shit in place, I'm sure.
Right. Treadmill was one I used to go in a treadie. I wiped that one down. I usually did that one. I'd go and wipe the handlebars pre, and then I try to do after. You know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'd use the
heart monitor.
You got to grab on the handle right there. So, and I know other people love to use that shit too. So, I'm like, that's where all the sweaty hand people. Like I said, different sweat places. Some people sweat by the hands, heavy, man. You know what I mean?
Yo, like where my hand sweat is at?
You know, it's like some real crazy hydrosis things out there. You know what I'm saying? And hey, respect to them for that, because that's the situation, man. Like I said,
Bobby Buckets.
Like I said, because for me, I get nose sweaty, and I can't even imagine having to wear a mask. You know, unless the gym is going to certify, give some kind of mask to you that you can breathe through in a workout way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this, but it's like those are opening. Yo, I even seen for this phase amusement parks. I don't know how that's going to happen.
I don't know. It's weird because I don't think any of it makes sense, because for this whole time, if we were able to have fucking Target open and Walmart open, then every other store could have been open. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, do the same thing at every other store. Like, when I go to the Dollar Tree, it says right on there, no more than 22 people inside, whatever. So do that for every business. I don't understand why, all right, we can only have 22 people in here. Do the same thing for the nail salon. You can only have 8 people in a nail salon at a time. Like, I don't know.
I try to see what that was about, because I was going to get my daughter's nails done, but today's the day that they all open. So I undershot that target on her birthday. So I was like, I couldn't do that. It was not much. I felt bad, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's like shit. But then it's like, hey, my birthday going to be in about a month. And it's going to be the same. Ain't nothing much going to be, you know? It's like, she's like, what do you want to do? Because her birthday's around the same.
The casinos are open, dude.
They are. And we saw it, and I was like, babe, let's go to, because her birthday's a couple days after mine, so we usually, sometimes celebrate together like that. And so let's take a ride or something. And I'm like, about Jersey Shore, we were gonna even do that. We thought about, Ocean City in Maryland. And then we're looking at stuff over there and just like, the crowds of people that they have there. And it's like, damn, nobody got a mask on, no nothing. It's like,
no.
Yeah, listen, we coming from an area where we heavy with that, right? You know what I mean? Like everything is coordinated, and that's why, I think those other states, they didn't have the numbers like how we did, maybe.
Yep.
That's why they're a little loose with it. You know what I mean? But we are close to the ground zero of this shit when it hit here in the States. So it's like we have those specific guidelines, and to see everything is structured a certain way. So when we looked at, like, just yesterday, some shots of a video, because there was a big brawl or something on Ocean City, down in Maryland. And there was a couple brawls. I'm like, okay, I'm not scared of seeing a fight or two. It was like, okay, I've seen that. It's a beach. It's people gonna,
Yeah.
But then, what was more alarming was the crowdedness, to just everybody on top of each other.
The density.
Right. And it's like, oh man, it's just, I know it's back to normal, but it's like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, we did March, but it was different. You know what I mean? It was like you weren't there for a long, long period of time. You know
exactly. And it wasn't like we were there all day. And like you said, we weren't touching anybody. It was just, right. We all happened to be in the same area, but I felt like everyone was being safe,
Right. Everybody's being safe, masked up. Nobody was,
It seems like a lot of states are just on some like, oh, everything's cool now. We're done. Boom. Okay. Nothing. No mask, no gloves, no nothing. Like, just we back at it.
Right. And I don't know. I said, I'm like, and now she's got me thinking, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, man, fuck it. But I'm like, that irresponsible asshole. Let's let him sit aside right now. Maybe we shouldn't. You know what I mean? But it's a big one this year for us. So I'm like, but hey, this is one for the history books, man.
Yeah.
How's it been your 2020 birthday? It was a great one. I was, But then if you have a party, no more than 10 people still, they're like saying in your house, inside, no more than 10. Outside, if you have an outside party, no more than 50. So you could squeeze 50 motherfuckers in your backyard. Just 10 of y'all can't be in the house at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, none of it makes sense, dude. None of it fucking makes sense.
Listen, if you guys are indoor partying, only 10 of you can hang out, all right?
Yeah.
If you take it to the backyard, we got 50. We're good? All right.
It's just
10 at a time, you know what I mean?
I don't blame them, but I think this entire time they just don't know what to do, and that's the information that comes out is instead of saying we don't know what to do, let's tell them something else this week.
It's got to be something, it's just everything.
It is. It's always been everything. No, man, like life changed for everybody.
Man, it's a strange
they all
thing.
got new rules.
Right, man. And me being home and fucking kind of laid up, really not, I haven't drove in a fucking week. I think I drove for the first time yesterday or so.
No doubt.
Highly recommended from the doc.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to, talk a little bit more about that. How did everything go? How was the procedure? Isn't that the best fucking medicine ever when they put you to sleep? Oh, my God. Like, bro.
It happens so fucking quick, man. It's like, it's like we're in the room and, okay, all right, Michael, it's going to feel it. They kind of explain to you what's going to happen, what's happening. But
I love her voice. And I believe I've had a he voice as well. But that last thing that you hear, that's so, man, it's what is it like when an angel fingers herself in the skies and comes? That's the noise that just in your ear you hear as you go.
Hold on 1 second, because where's my? Look at this cat is wild, and look at her. She's about to knock everything off the damn. Look.
Oh, and you got it.
Jesus Christ. Hey. She's trying to burrow. Sorry. I was
burrow and tell a story.
Rubbed about a puss.
But man, that stuff, like, you can understand why Michael Jackson was rich and he had enough money and he had enough connections to tell the doctor, yeah, just every single time I go to sleep, that's what I want. And that's what he was doing. That's how he fucking died.
Wow. I just want to keep doing that until I just don't wake up.
that propofol was just propofol, whatever it is. He just
It's insane. But it is a thing, man, because you drift, and then I fucking feel like I took a quick little nap. I opened my eyes, or I feel like I just fit, and I said, well, it's like, it's okay, Michael, it's all done. That's all you hear. It's like,
yep.
It's done. What do you mean it's done? It's done. Hold on one second, man. I gotta rectify this because she's trying to burrow a hole and shit. Excuse me.
Talk to him. I'll talk more about man because I had my gallbladder out as well, and yeah, it's weird because you go in the room naked, only under a little sheet, and then the room is cold as fuck. So immediately, you're not going to be proud about showing your meat because that room is cold as fuck. And there's always at least a couple of nurses on the thing, and you're just like, damn, this room is cold as fuck. My meat is not in any position to be shown right now.
It's not in show position. It's not a show position.
and all I imagine is like, as soon as they knock you out, they just go, huh? Take a peek. You know what I mean?
See what you're working with, Daddy.
Yeah. But that room, when they take you in there, that shit is cold as fuck.
It is. It's a cold situation. And it's one of those like, and so when she said, all right, put the gown on, I said, I'm down to the boxies. And she said, no, everything. Oh, okay. Yep. No boxies. We're going fully.
Yep. So let it flop. Just let it flop out.
Going straight flaccid on them. All right. But yeah, it was like you snap too, man. And it's always weird because it's like when you're kind of snapping to, it's not like a super pain thing. It's just a weird feeling of like, something was just taken out of me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like something is no longer there where it was. It's just that weird kind of. Even now, when I feel there, it's like an indentation or something. Like what? It was. Was it there? Is it somewhere around?
Was it there the whole time?
Right. But I tell you, man, and he gave me. I'm not a big pill person like that. He gave me oxycodone 5s, and
no,
them shits didn't really work like that for the stomach pain, kind of.
Yeah.
Had my fucking, my bum hip feeling great.
Right.
So I was like, oh shit, look at that nigga skipping around, but my stomach hurt. You know what I mean? But Motrin, that's all. Motrin was the key to kind of help me sleep because I'm not a back sleeper, and I had to sleep with my back. You know what I mean? And that's always a difficult one for me because I'm just like, I'm not a back guy. I'm a side frontal. You know what I mean? And we're talking about sleeping, folks. No.
And our favorite pose is when we pose naked. I'm a back guy.
Frontal. Baby, get that shot. Get that shot.
Babe, let me post in a 3/4. I'm gonna just let my thigh cover my dong. Let me just think about
it. Hey, it worked for Saquon Barkley niggas and fucking athletes in the front of. Nah, I'm not as elegant and wonderfully looking in a physical standpoint of those guys, but hey, listen, if I sell that shit, baby, you gonna love me. Just gotta have the confidence to sell it.
Yeah, I feel you too. I think after I had my gallbladder out, I think I slept like in a like a recliner for the next couple of days. So like kind of up still. Right. But yeah.
And I had to prop the pillows up in the bed and kind of get that.
Because that's the thing is when you do have to get up, anything involving, you realize how much you use your fucking core for everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, man. It's just like, man, the first night she had to like, because I tried to get in the bed and it was like that twist was like, no. Yep. She had to fucking, my lady grabbed my legs and kind of swung me like, okay, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
I tried to get too fancy, too cute, too quick. It's like, it should be the name of my book, man. Too fancy, too cute, too quick. Could be the name of this episode.
What was Deion Sanders' rap album name? Because that's what that shit should be.
Too fancy, too cute, too quick. That should have been his fucking rap. Oh, man. Shout out to his son, though. He got 2 sons that are ballers right now, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, one of them is a cornerback, same position he played. I believe he's in college. just started going to college.
Nice.
Or I was about to go to college. He's got another one that's going to be a senior. That's a quarterback, and he's getting recruited by big schools, Alabama, Clemson. You know what I mean?
So,
He's got that caliber, and he just had there was a big thing because he had some just worked out with him. Old Tommy, Tampa Tom, worked out with Deion's son and gave him all pointers and showed him technique and shit like that. I mean, how many seniors in high school getting that, man? It's good to have your dad who he is, man. Let's keep it real.
hell yeah.
When your dad Deion Sanders, you get that fuck. How many? You know what I mean? Tom ain't gonna take his time unless he getting paid to do shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Deion, I got you, man. Send him out. Work him out a little bit. Give him some tips and some techniques and mechanics and shit.
Nice.
He's gonna be shining. He's gonna look like Tom Brady in the pocket
Right?
in the senior year shit.
Yo, and fucking Deion's his DNA that he's passed on has got to be good because like Deion still doesn't look like he can't do much, man. He looks like he could do something.
Deion, like he could probably lay, you know what I mean? Don't let that little gray bear fool you, man. Like Deion will lace up and get you still. I guarantee it. But people gotta remember, like outside of the fancy, because he was flashy, fancy. Some might just remember as that. Yeah. But the guy was a two sport fucking major league, man.
Yeah.
Like
and good. It wasn't just like good enough to play. Yeah.
He was drafted by the Yankees, man. Like he played ball with the Yankees, like because he was that damn good. And there's only a handful of guys that did that. Him, Bo Jackson. You know what I mean? Who else did? I don't know if there's another football. Russell Wilson did a little bit. I don't know if he's still for the Seattle Seahawks. He's a hell of a baseball player, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice. I don't know if I think he was gonna try out this year or something like that, but he's been around for a little bit, but he chose to stick with just football though. But he was gonna get drafted and everything, man. Fucking MLB.
Wow, good for him. That's dope. Yeah, I think it seemed like the NBA was starting to move back towards like starting again, and I think a lot of the players shut that shit down, man. They were like,
"So I was looking into
that. We're not doing this shit."
Right. What I was looking into that with what their proposal was, what they voted on, which a majority, I guess, agreed to it, but there's still some rumbling, I guess, was because the season didn't finish out, so the teams that on paper would have had a chance to compete to get into the last couple seeds of the playoffs, like the top guys are locked in. Now the people that are competing in the East and the West, they're gonna have a tournament in Orlando it's called the Orlando Dome. They're going to fucking Disney.
Yeah, they're going to Disney.
They're right. They're going to Disney, and basically no family, no friends kind of deal, and they're locking them in type of shit in the dome and playing this tournament. It's almost like a summer league ball with no fucking fans.
Yeah.
And now they have to play like series out to earn these spots to get the final spot in the playoffs, and then they're gonna have a playoff showdown. I guess all in Orlando. That's gonna happen all like what team wants to fucking go through that? All in Orlando. Unless you're fucking Orlando Magic, it doesn't fucking feel good for anybody.
Yeah.
Like, they're the only guys that could go home like up the street or something. You know what I mean?
Now, like you were saying, is that just a proposal or is that what's happening?
It's not etched in stone yet. They're still working out some things.
Okay.
That was voted on high though. I mean, I think it was all but then you got like some of the stars coming, like Carmelo Anthony's just saying like, listen to Melo, he's been real. He's like, listen, I'm just saying it's not enough facts of what's what to kind of put my eggs all in that basket. That's all I'm saying. People vote and stuff, but I don't feel like I know enough. You know what I mean? Details ain't coming out. Like, I don't know. We all be locked in over in a bubble, and I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to know exactly. Is it you play your basketball game, then you go to your room, and then when it's time to come play basketball again, we'll get you like
some weird. You know what I'm gonna say? It's like about these, man. I don't know about other states or whatever, but here in this state of Connecticut, high school football jamborees. You remember those? Come on.
Sorry.
Yo, I
want the jam.
Jamborees was you played multiple teams kind of deal. They all like 3-4 teams would come down to your like a West Haven High was used a lot because it had turf and it had the capacity in a parking lot. So multiple teams would come there, and so as a fan, you come like, I'm gonna watch multiple games today. You know what I mean? It's like a little scrimmage show off. So that's basically like for a professional sense of it. All right, next team, and you're like, well, goodbye, and it's high profile athletes hanging around like it's summer camp. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing, man. But it's not just summer camp because they have to really focus in, and we competing for the playoffs to get a championship. So they're basically gonna run into the NFL season with the playoffs.
Wow.
So it's the NFL competing at the beginning of the year with the NBA finishing. You know?
Yeah, the NFL. I think the NFL is just like, fuck it, we're going. And I think that they're just going full bore with it. But yeah, the NBA is going to be interesting.
I don't know. What about hockey? I don't know. Nobody even talking.
I don't know.
Nobody knows about hockey. Or hockey. Nobody's like, are they talking about getting back on the ice? I don't.
But with basketball, I saw like Kyrie Irving. He was on some like nope. And who was he was on the Houston Rockets. Then he went to LA, and him and Kobe didn't get along well. He was the center, power forward. What's his name? With a D.
From where?
He was on the Rockets. Then he went with Kobe to LA, and they had Dwight Howard. Him.
Howard. Yeah. He's playing well this year.
Him as well, though. He's like, no, like, you know how the fucking world is burning? Let's pay attention to that and let's solve that shit first, and then maybe we'll play some fucking basketball.
And that's and let this episode not go by the wayside of that. What's going on in places like Atlanta and Seattle? Whoa, it's heavy, man. It's heavy shit, bro. That's all I could kind of announce it as, man. Seattle's, and I say those two, and it's going on all over. Don't get me wrong, but I say those two because it's interesting things to me that are happening in Seattle, for one, with the basically taking over a couple city streets, like the citizens basically
6 or 7 blocks.
Right. Oh, is that many? I thought it was like 3 blocks. You know what I mean?
I believe it's up to 6. I mean, we'll look it up right now because that's what we have the capacity to do.
Right. Yeah. Oh, but when I first seen the first footage of that, and it's like, wow. And they were trying to say, listen, this is how we're going to show how we could work this. They're trying to propose a way to do it by defunding the police, but it's kind of like they got their own little security unit down there, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Like, could that be a thing? You know what I mean? Or we're going to go back to, like, police academy, citizens on patrol? You know what I mean? They all little cats know about that.
It's going to be interesting, man, because they're talking about there's a lot of people that are making sense, and there's a lot of people that aren't making sense. Like, I agree with people talking about
you still need the police.
Cops don't have to, like, but the thing is,
shoot somebody. You know, you need.
Let's have cops stop. Like, why are cops giving out so many fucking speeding tickets? Like, why is their life all caught up in that shit? Like, the thing that to me it seems that the most cops that we interact with are cops that will pull you over while driving. Like,
right.
Maybe we don't have them do that shit anymore. Maybe we have them concentrate on real crime, you know? Maybe we have them just do the stuff that they actually need to do, and that's big situations. Like, maybe the person that pulls you over for speeding and drunk driving doesn't need to fucking have guns drawn on you, you know? Like, I think there's different ways that we could do different things.
Because that one in Atlanta, man, that newer one of that guy. Did you see that footage of that one?
Though it was that the one in the Wendy's.
Yeah.
That one was tough.
That one was. It's like, what are we doing right now? You know what I mean? It's like the guy was fucking drunk. His car was there. You got his information. Where's he going? Let him run. If you're not going to chase him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What did he do? He didn't shoot nobody. He didn't kill nobody. He had no gun on him. You done searched everything, man. All he had was being drunk, man.
Yep.
Sleeping in his car. Like, come on, what are we doing?
I think a couple of things need to happen. Like, for me, what I don't like is I don't think you should be able to pull out your gun and point it at somebody. I don't think you should be able to pull out your taser and point it at somebody. I think it should be, if you pull that motherfucker out, it's because you have to use it. Because what happened with the fucking cops is they pull the taser out and they go, sir, we're going to tase you. Sir, we're going to tase you. Sir, we're going to tase you. Then the dude steals the fucking taser from him. And it's like, bro, if you're taking out your fucking taser, take it out, tase him, cuff him. Like, we don't got to do the like, oh, right. One more chance. Well, okay, now, listen, really, one more chance. Like, no, right. if you got to, and when I think that they had every right to tase that dude because Yeah, they're going to arrest him, and he fucking tries to book on him. Yeah,
Right.
tase him, get him down. Like, I get that.
You're driving drunk, bro. That's fuck. It is what it is. He was sleeping drunk in the Wendy's, man. You were driving drunk, bro. You're going to jail. That's rules down for anybody, man. You know what I mean? It's like, because if anybody lost a life due to a drunk driver, man, they could relate to some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, man, now you shouldn't be on the road drunk. You fucking kill yourself or somebody else.
Yeah. And the thing also is, I think perhaps if all that video came out first, that maybe Atlanta wouldn't have gone as crazy as they did, because the first story that came out is not what happened. Like, the first story that came out was there was a guy sleeping in the Wendy's parking lot. The cops came and they were fucking with him and they shot him and killed him. That's not what it was. The dude was passed out drunk in the drive-through line. He wasn't like, I'm going to be a respectable citizen and I am too drunk to drive. I'm going to pull over and go to sleep. That's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? Dude was
he was trying to feed that, we all know, feed that liquor hunger. He's like, I got to get food in me right now, because that's what you need when you drink that fucking much. Obviously he did.
Yeah, exactly. He had
the long lines, and all right. Yep.
No, but I'm not sure how much of the footage that you watched, but I watched the cops body cam, and it's crazy when you go back and you see the point in which the fork in the road was taken, because the cop sees the guy first, meets up with him, blah, 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 does whatever. He gets him to pull over and park, boom, and does whatever. And then the cop goes back to his own car, and he sits in the car, and he's like, do I want to deal with this dude right now? Oh, yeah, fine, I got to deal. But there was a chance there where that dude was just drunk and was able to sleep, and this dude and the cops just drove away. Like, bro, the cop thought about it out loud about just leaving. And but I get why he didn't, because it's like, what's that?
Was that the same cop who pulled the trigger?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But I just know he was the first one that was on the scene dealing with him, you know? But if that cop just went, yeah, the guy's drunk, he's just going to sleep in his car, boom, we're gone, you know? Like, nobody else would have come over there. But obviously the dude that got killed, like, he did things wrong, but I don't think he did enough wrong to fucking die, which is the problem here. And one of the things, I forgot, I heard it on a podcast somewhere, but something that somebody said that made a whole lot of sense. They're like, why not have the first 2 or 3 rounds in a cop's gun be rubber bullets? Because what if, when they shot that dude 3 times, what if they shot him with 3 rubber bullets in the back? He probably would have been fucked up on the ground, but hurt and not dead. So that's one of those, like...
Right, but the fight for that always going to be like for somebody that's got a firearm too. You know, pulling out a firearm, you're going shot for shot with somebody, because, you know, I've seen some videos of some motherfuckers ain't trying to go to jail, and they ain't trying to...
Exactly.
I'm gonna kill you, cop. Sorry, I'm gonna kill you. I'm not going nowhere. You know what I mean? And it's somebody gonna pull out and try to get them. So that's part of the job. That's real. Like, you see footage of that shit. That shit's not a joke, man.
Yep.
These guys, you know, whether they're an asshole cop or a good one, they still are on that same line of hey, a motherfucker might try to take me out today, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, as much as like I'm not a fan of cops. Yeah, they don't have an easy job. Like, that shit.
Right. That's what I think. I'm not like all about, hey, you know, I don't put them on a pedestal, but I don't ignore the fact that what they fucking do is dangerous as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just to that, man. You know, because like I said, I got a couple friends, man, that I grew up with, or I know that are cops, man, and you know, and I know them on a level where I know them as being good people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, human beings, exactly.
Pre-cop good person. You know what I mean? You can tell, like, I know that, man. Like, I knew these young kids I used to work with, man, and they were trying to pursue heavy to be cops, but their personality, and I ain't never really, hate to say that, like, not pray, because I don't do that. Let me go in this corner here and pray for something for these guys to not become cops. But I was high hopes that they didn't. Cool dudes to me in a sense, but you can tell from their mind process, put a badge on these young boys, because they're ready for action. They want to bust heads.
Yep.
They go hard, extreme, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, you know, one of them was in the military, you know, his daddy was a fucking state trooper, and you know what I mean, all this other good jazz. So
he's fulfilling the legacy. He's fulfilling the legacy.
He was in the military, so, you know, my dad was, you know, so I'm trying to be a state trooper, you know. he goes, listen, man, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, this is where like the jarhead, like this, if I'm going to be a cop, I'm going to bring this mentality. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Yes, he gave me that line, and it's like, all right, here we go. I see, it's guys like you shouldn't be cops, man.
Yep.
If you're going to be a cop because he's thirsty for action, he wants that fucking adrenaline, because what they end up doing, these kids that, I know 2 of them, they didn't get into a couple places they were trying to, you know, and I was like, there's something with that. Maybe there's a reason. They're not ready. Yeah. You know, maybe they will be. I don't know. They need some more lessons to learn as far in life, but they ended up going to work at a hospital, being like security there, where it's like hands-on.
Yeah.
But they're loving it. It's too much. You know what I mean? Like, yo, come over. You know, you want to come up here and grab some people. Like, who wants to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, it's not fun.
Shit isn't fun to me. No, yeah, that shit.
It's not. I don't get a thrill out of fucking like restraining people and breaking, like twisting arms and limbs. See, guys like that. See, that's where it lies at, man. You take that kind of person, you give him a fucking badge, and now he has the power. He has a power struggle, and he's like jumping for a time to use it.
Yeah.
And I look at that kid, and I'm like, you know what? He's the kind, man. And then you give these guys fucking badges, man, and you put him in the middle of a city, and he's a fucking a country kid who loves fishing and fucking mudding in his fucking Jeep. Yeah, and you're gonna put him in the middle of fucking New Haven, Connecticut, inner city in the hood, and all he knows about that shit is either, you know, what he sees on TV or you know, hearing stories from a couple of boys.
Yep.
Like, come on, man, you can't put those kind of people. You're not gonna put those people in those areas, man. It's not gonna turn out, because he's already gonna feel, you know, superior. You know, you guys inferior. This place fucking stinks. Look at these fucking these people. You know what I mean? And he'll be like, no, I mean, these people here in this area, and it's not. Now, you know, it's no. You know what you mean? You already put them in the bucket. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I feel like that's a part too, man. And somebody else had said that. I forgot when they were talking about it. They said action is a better screening process for these police. And that's a fucking beautiful idea, I felt. You know what I mean? Of like, you need somebody to really look into these motherfuckers, man.
Well, it should be harder to be a cop. Like, it should be so much harder to be a cop than it is, because a lot of these things, they're saying it takes longer to be a fucking plumber than it does to be a cop. It takes longer to be a barber than it does to be a cop. Like, there was mad of them, the people giving the answers over there. I'm like,
that's crazy. That's crazy to think that, man. Like, to do those kind of jobs, but to be a cop, man, you just go to the academy, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You meet certain qualifications. You be in good physical condition. You take the pre-test. Like, a lot of people could test well. That's nice.
Yeah.
But that testing shit don't put you in real life situations, man. Yep. That testing shit don't, you know, a lot of it, what they don't understand, the part of the job that a lot of these guys, to me, they don't capitalize on, is fucking customer service, man. Like, you know what I mean? You're a public figure. You know what I mean? You kind of have that almost understanding of things when you go into situations, instead of, because I've seen cops come to scenes of things like, what the fuck is, you know, come in hot. You know what I mean? I've seen these things, man. I've seen cops come looking for trouble. I
dealt with them. When I was doing security at Fairfield Hills, when somebody broke in, we had to call the cops. The cops knew that it was us because we had a town truck that we were driving around in. Still, 4 out of 5 times, the cops would come up, shine a light directly in our faces, and just be like, someone called, and we're like, what are you doing? Like, how is that ever the first move, is to come up and shine a flashlight in your face when, like, I'm the one that called you. Stop. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
do my job. You know?
Yeah, but yeah, they just that such aggressive of just like, oh, my dad's gonna be proud of me one day. Like, just too much, like fucking
testosterone's heavy. It runs heavy.
Because even like, listen, they say, you know, I have all the quote white privilege in the world. Bro, and I'll put it to you like this: whether I have white privilege or not, all that shit, I'm not comfortable around cops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fucking like cops. I've never been around a cop and been like, nice, a cop's here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never happened.
You know? It's a sign of authority. It's like it's what they possess and carry off. Yeah. And it's just different for, you know, certain people in certain neighborhoods. Like I said, since buying this cop car, man, you know what I mean? And I still go through the neighborhood because I go get my, you know, my kid and stuff. And, you know, I just ride through. so I still go to my places to get things what I get for the low, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just that's it's a what, and I look at it sometimes like, damn, motherfucker, just but you know what, and I always got to remind myself like, oh, you're driving a symbol of hate around. You know what I mean? It's what I mean. I symbolize what I'm riding as something people really don't like. You know what I mean? It's because it's there and it's going to be a negative vibe when they get there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, got to get that not a cop sticker. Like, look at one of these ones that fucking all the time on my Instagram, there'll be ads and shit like that for like sticker companies when it's like $12 for 50. Bro, you got to just buy some stickers that say not a cop. Because you put that shit on there and there's like, man, it says he's not a cop. You know what I'm saying? Just
right, but but it's like a silly, guilty side of me that likes certain parts of it. That's what I mean, of like highway treatment and no road raging around me. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody kind of thinks that, they straighten up a little bit, or they don't do stupid things they probably would do if they weren't. So they might get a look and then see my fucking big ass hair out, and my shades on, and my sleeveless tee. Is like, you can't be a cop.
Undercover brother.
You know what I mean? But if I'm like kind of got a button up on or something, they're like, yeah, they try this funny stuff.
Might be a detective.
Right, but it's funny, man, because if I swear I could jump out in the middle of the hood somewhere right now in that car, pull out in the front of the corner store, right, and get the look, because they're gonna give me the look. I'm gonna go inside and get me a bag of Doritos, 25-cent joint. You know what I mean? Maybe a little juice, and I'm gonna get me 3 Dutches, and I'll still will get the look like other things. That's what they do. They try and blend in. They try, you know what I mean? Try and buy Dutches to throw us off. Don't be blinded.
Yeah, I remember when we went to watch you at the fucking Apollo. There were some homeless dudes outside of McDonald's thought me and Crip were fucking police. That was a long ass time ago. And because like they kept
the cops.
Like, you what? Like, we're just like, no, what? No, fucking no.
Well, I think it's like, listen, man, if they're gonna send in a decoy to blend in the hood, they're not gonna be in that car. He's gonna be in a Honda. He's gonna be in, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, picture him back at the police station. Like, all right, so what do they wear? All right, you're gonna wear a flannel shirt, like kind of like a plaid shirt. What kind of you're gonna wear some jeans. Don't make the jeans too big, too tight. Right. Okay, and shoes. Yeah. Put on some basketball sneakers, something like that.
Go with
and then just take the normal cop car. They'll never know. Like, that's not how it's gonna go.
Right. It's like you're not gonna get many cops jumping out of a car like that wearing Jordan shorts and fucking the afro with a fucking black fist pick in it. You know what I mean? Buying Dutches in a corner store, man. It's not a setup, man. You know what I mean? Nope. It should be more interesting. Like, yo, where you get that car at? Yeah, I know. Yeah. You gotta know people.
But that speaks to the state of how on edge people are. Like I said, man, I know that I can be treated better by police than black people can, of course. But still, like I said, I'm not trying to be around no fucking cops. They don't make me feel comfortable. Like, in a utopia, it should be like, nice, the cops are here. That means everything's going to be peaceful and everything's fine and we're all protected and everything's great. Right. That's what it should be. But
but a lot of people have a lot of family that are, so their way of thinking is they have that, but the people, what they have to understand is like, you have that feeling because it's your family and you have that relationship and everything. But you have to understand that other people have different reactions from how they encounter, man.
Yeah.
That's what it always is to me, man. The perception is always laid out by the encounter. You know what I'm saying? It's like
bars.
They ain't ready for it. But you know what I mean? It's like you had a bad encounter. It could be once. I mean, a white lady gets her fucking purse snatched by a black dude one time, and it's like all those black, and then she has a racist thought about black people now. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's like people do that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, well, but as a whole, the police force within inner cities have a certain way of handling situations that they do not handle the same way in other towns. Like the way they're going to handle something within an inner city is not how they're going to handle it in a town of Orange, or you know what I mean, or Greenwich or some shit. They're just not gonna do it that way.
Yeah.
They're gonna come in forcefully. They're gonna drop a hammer, drop a fist. I get it. It's inner city. There might be some more violence. You might have a couple of more knuckleheads. I get it, but you can't just come in and assume everybody that's there is that, and you're coming and dropping a hammer. You know what I mean? And there's a fucking people still, man. You know what I mean? No matter what, man, they're people. You know, shit. I mean, fuck, a suicide bomber or somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, man. You know what I mean? I don't agree with none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But if you were able to stop that man and defuse that bomb and sit him down, talk to him, man. Mm-hmm. Knows all right.
Yeah, well, that thing, and you'd also want to understand, how did this person get to this point? You know, like, fucking, whoa, tell me, how do you feel about shit? Let me know. Like, what the fuck? You know,
I just had that conversation yesterday. I was talking, and I was like, damn, growing up, I had like a close group of friends, you know, and then I always had like that, and that close, I kept my circle to my circle of my close group.
Yeah.
But they always had, like, you know, they had their groups of, you know, a couple of cats like join their little gangs or little cliques that, you know, invite me. I never wanted to, you know. And one of my boys, man, I remember was more of I was like, damn. I was sitting back and thinking, I was like, damn. I was kind of like really close friends, best friends, you know, with a bully almost. Now, because I go back and think of how he was to other kids. You know, like this one chick had a hunchback kind of. He used to get on her, oh, Quasimodo, you know. Yeah. Really doing some shit that them kids probably were home with. Now, looking at as an adult, like, they probably were home crying out that shit because he would fucking pick on them and talk shit and cut on them, and, like, you know, some, you know, with their disabilities and shit in school, like, and he would always try to be somebody out there, you know what I mean, scrapping. I'm gonna knock somebody out to get a rep up. You know, he was the, you know what I mean, and pick on this one or whatever, you know what I mean, what the fuck you looking at, home, you know what I mean, that was his kind of flow. But I knew him on another level. Like, when we hung, you know what I mean? I knew those sides. I knew what the nigga was scared of. You know what I mean? I knew his family problems. See, and that's the shit that people don't know. Like, how he was, like, disrespectful to, like, the girls and shit. He's always like if a girl like that bitch, you know what I mean? He talk reckless, you know, or fucking humpback. And, you know, he used to get on him all the time.
Yeah.
But then you look deeper, like, I know the side of him having a rough time with his mother. Like, I remember growing up, when I first seen the interaction with his mother, you know, when he's like, Ma, you fucking bitch. Yeah, fuck out of, you know what I mean? Like, anybody in the store, like, ooh.
That's a lot.
Know, first to me, that's a shocker. Like, oh, so
of course, yeah.
There's a relationship there, but somebody doesn't know there's a reason why he's doing this shit out there. You know what I mean? Households fucked up, and this is how motherfuckers react out there in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. High school time, it was like in high school even, but at home, moms had just, like, fucking left and ran and did whatever, ran the streets a little bit, fucking around on dad, and, you know, left him and his brother and his dad there. Dad's working and trying to be like a fucking cook and be a, you know, clean the house, and ain't nothing happening. He's a fucking man. Like, I'm doing this best. So there's no structure there. So you can see where, like, that hate would not come off. You know what I mean? But
it's just they don't know. People, when we're young like that, we don't know where to put it. You know, so it manifests itself in weird ways. And as you get older, you got to learn how to handle that. And there's some people that never learn how to handle that. And there's some people, to bring it all together, there's some people that how they handle that is getting it out physically. And some people, how they handle that is they become a fucking cop and they take it out on the person that crossed that line, the person that fucking, you know.
They're looking for inner justice on people, the shit that personally bothers them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's this personally bothers me, and now I have a chance of being a power of authority that I can actually fucking do something. You know what I'm saying? Or I have a right, I have a say so. Maybe this motherfucker felt like nobody ever listened to him. You know, if that's a voice in his head that tells him that, nobody ever fucking listens to me. Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me. Ha ha. Ding, ding, ding. I got a badge now. You got to fucking listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. Take these orders. And then, you know, they get into the brotherhood, boyhood band shit where you got other guys in the band that might be like, you fucking pussy. You're scared to be, once you get out there and make a couple arrests, man, you're always fucking talking to people. Won't you bust some heads with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, that's what I'll say. Now, listen, I apologize. I do not want to come off as a cop apologist, anything like that. But to end this episode off, what I do want to say is I can empathize because this sucks. Imagine being in this position. One of those 4 cops that was kneeling and killed George Floyd, it was his 4th day on the fucking job.
Wow.
Like I said, yes, everyone did the same thing wrong. But
the guy did the body. Wow.
It was his 4th day on the job. I feel bad for that dude. Like, because now they were
He
even
had the chance
saying
to learn something.
he's, bro, 4th day on the job, and he's now his defense. He's saying, like, watch my body cam. I was asking, excuse me, sir, like, should we roll him over on the side? Excuse me, sir, should we do something? So I wouldn't be surprised if one of those cops gets off, or a couple of those. Like, who knows what those guys are saying on the body cam if they're telling the guy, like, because you got to remember, the guy that was kneeling on George Floyd's neck.
Yeah, the guy that was on the neck, he's the
He had
veteran.
been there for 14 years, whatever.
Right.
And then
he was the lead of that whole shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then the other guy that's over near his back more, 4th day in the fucking job. Bro. So now not that the guy died, but now there's a small bit of understanding why the dude didn't get up and be like, yo, get the fuck off him. You know, like, it's tough. Like, it's your 4th day.
Right. They needed more veteran cops that on that scene. Tao was just being an asshole. Everybody back up. There's just what drugs will do to you. Tao, that's what we're running with. You know what I mean? I saw somebody put some up where they were trying to bash George Floyd. But people, George Floyd was a criminal. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
It doesn't matter. None of that matters.
Every criminal fucking should just be fucking just put a knee on the neck until they're dead because, hey, listen, he wasn't a good guy anyways because he got arrested for drugs.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is he hurting but himself? Fuck
exactly.
out of here. You know what I mean?
I don't care what the guy did. And if he is a criminal, then you get arrested, you get taken, and then the fucking judge, jury, all that other stuff happens. You don't get kneeled, on your fucking neck and get killed in the middle of the street. It's not how it works. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what your fucking rap sheet was.
Right.
If you're that bad of a guy, then they should have had you in fucking prison. Like, if that's really what the deal was. But no, he's on the streets.
It was a guy from another
country. To live his life.
Right. It was a guy from another country, but he was saying, he goes, he's like, let's look at this hero. You guys say George Floyd hero. This is public information, people. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I said, yo, don't try to come over here with that.
No, but see, that's what Dave Chappelle in that special, that's what he said. He's like, we did not choose this man. He got killed in front of everyone. That's what happened. That we didn't choose him as like, hey, George Floyd will be the best representative for Black lives. No, he got killed.
Right. That was powerful, man. Dave shit, because Dave, you don't really see a special with Dave where it's like wasn't many jokes. It wasn't, I think a couple giggles, but it was like, hey, this is hard to kind of go through without,
Yeah. And he said it too. He's like, it's not a time for jokes. Nobody, you don't need my fucking input. He's like, he just spoke, and that was a great thing.
And he's right. He's like, listen, stop putting this shit on. Like, people in the streets are living this shit, man. Let these people have that fucking platform of, you know what I mean? Instead of having, Chappelle, what do you got to get in? It's like,
and I love the point that he made when he's like, a cop gets killed, and what happens? That case gets solved because 400 fucking cops come out and, oh my God, we're putting all our attention to this, and then that shit happens. Black person gets fucking killed. That's what we're doing now. Now we're all fucking mad because you just killed a black person. Like, you would all be mad if you just killed the cop. So understand that connection there. Like,
no, man. I seen that one. Like, Shannon Sharp always says good shit when he talks about it too, man. And he's like, that is that whole thing too, man. It's like, this is angry as a people of seeing something, man. You know what I mean? And when I was on my quarantine, man, when I was kind of laid up, man, and and I listened to fucking idiot Drew Brees, he just jumps out like Drew. I mean,
just got it so wrong.
Like, you do so much for the community down in New Orleans, man. He does a lot for the black community. Like, he's a pattern of being that guy to dump out his love, his time, and his money into the community in New Orleans and give it back. For Katrina, he put millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drew, they love you. And now they're like, damn, Drew, come on, man. This is not what it's about, man. Like, guys, anybody that kneels for the flag, I just can't respect. And it's like, Drew, stop. For 1 second, people that say that shit have to open your fucking eyes and see that representation of the flag to you does not mean the same to everybody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's simple, man. It's like, if somebody says that was great. So what I started doing in quarantine, I was watching, I dove into some, I watched The Five Bloods, highly recommended.
Okay.
Spike Lee joint on Netflix, The Five Bloods. He dropped it. You know what I mean? Nice. He gave a premiere to it to Drew Brees and his coach. Spike. He said, look, I'm going to send y'all on premiere of my joint. You know what I mean? It wasn't really a race-related deal, but it was of the sense of giving that soldier mindset. He was there in Vietnam. Like, listen, man, these guys hit gold in the mountains because it's like we going back to a country that's gonna be fucked up for us, and they go back as old men to the country to find the gold they bear. It was a dope story, man. It took like a
nice
crazy twist to it. Like Spike Lee did, it was a dope one. But I when I hear Drew Brees say that, and I start looking into things, and like, you get a couple stories of what it was like, man. Of did you know a million black soldiers fought in World War II? I was never fucking told that shit growing up. Like, I don't remember that. I don't remember being told, a million fucking black soldiers fought in World War II, 1940 something, man, 42. And they fucking came, and that was the time of, like, even in the fucking military, they had to drink colored fountains. Like, look, you can fucking die for a cause that we don't give a fuck about when we get back because you're not going to be the same as us. You understand that concept of how somebody could be, like, I don't think people understand. It's like, yeah, but it was, we're so much better. But the concept of that, of treating people like that, and now they raising their kids in a world like that, it's going to be like, yo, look, man, you got to be stronger through this shit, man. Look. It's been proven. I mean, people got away with taking pictures of dead black bodies hanging from trees like trophies, man. Yeah. And got away with this shit. What are we talking about? How can you think people did not think that way? Yeah. They had these guys called the Harlem Hellfighters, man. You look them cats up, man. I watched a documentary on YouTube. It was about a whole, platoon, and like they treated these guys like shit to the point because those soldiers weren't like of use for certain things. Yeah. So we can't really use you. Because they don't want them to have the glory. And they sent them to the French, bro. They had to fight with this whole platoon. Check that shit out, man. I should have sent you the link. But the Hellfighters of Harlem, they fucking sent them to the fucking French and made them fight with the French. And they kicked ass with the French. Nice. And the French gave them the fucking highest medal of honor they can give one of their fucking soldiers because of a couple of fights they had. But they said, the French said they had specific instructions from U.S. military, white U.S. military. Listen, don't let these guys think that they're hot. They don't want them to feel like they're heroes to come back and have some pride for something. You know what I mean? It's like, don't let them get ahead of themselves.
Yeah, just do grunt work, whatever.
Right. Basically, they were trying to have them use them the way that, this country would use them.
Yep.
Just use them at your disposal. If you got to send them in first, send them in first.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm telling you, man, it was a good documentary, and to hear they had actual talkers and people that were there in those platoons. They're dead now, but when the video came out back in late '90s when they were being interviewed, these guys are old men at that time. So in the '90s they're getting interviewed, but they were in World War II in '41. They're old men at that time. So just to hear their experience, man, and it's just so much. You got to have, like, I don't give a fuck what color you are, man. Just to have fucking respect and admiration for somebody that fucking to go through that. Like, who wants to go through that? Like, yo, I'm out here fucking risking my life for somebody that don't give a fuck about me. Like, nobody wants to go through that, man. As a man, as a human being, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a fucked up feeling. And I think people need to kind of tune into that kind of thought process, man, of people being fed up. And that's why you get a lot of different cultures out there, because it's different generation. They're like, yo, man, we got enough footage. We got enough shit to see. You know what I mean? You guys can't lie no more, man. People are given access information from libraries, from shit buried and archived, and they're putting it together, and they're putting videos out, and they're putting all kinds of shit.
Well, I can tell you like this. I think people are catching on, and now strategies are going to be changed, because it's been a long time since I've seen anybody post a fucking pile of bricks at one of these fucking marches now. So did they find out? Oh shit, okay, we're not doing that shit no more. Whoever was doing it, whether it was the government, Antifa, I don't fucking know. But I think everybody's waking up a little bit, with the attention of that fucking phone.
It's acknowledge, man. Acknowledge the shit is happening. Acknowledge it happens. Nobody at this point. It's like, oh, the black people are bitching. It's like, listen, it's because it's a certain issue. There's other issues to bitch about with the black community. Trust me, we out here with them. They're out here. You know what I'm saying? Well, there's other issues to bitch about. This is one of them that's being bitched about right now, because that police force is supposed to be as a protector, but it shouldn't be looked at as the way they are because of the things that some of them do.
Yeah. There's that. I think they all need more training. I don't think a cop should have to do as much as a cop does. Like, I don't think a cop should. You know how they send the fire fucking department, like if there's a cat in a tree, to every single call, all that shit. Cops shouldn't have to go to every single fucking thing. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, they should be specialized, more training in certain stuff. It doesn't have maybe every cop isn't created equal.
They have a unit of community unarmed officers that intervene with certain situations.
Yeah. Non-violent situations.
Certain calls, your dispatcher's just going to have to do a little bit more work. You're going to have to get another dispatching unit to help patch through. Okay, it ain't nothing but then patching that certain public something. You got to call it something different than police officers. You know what I mean? Public, officer or something. You know what I mean?
Responders, whatever it is. Yeah.
Right. Public first responders. You know what I'm saying? Send out the PFS. You know what I mean? Whatever.
PFR.
PFR. I said that. So I went to the end. PFR. Public first. Send out the PFR unit. Let them go out there. Public first responders. These are your community people. They're gonna come out first. You're gonna get good. Now you're giving good jobs to people that give a shit about their fucking community and put them in the responsibility of helping keeping this shit real out there. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have people that have those jobs now that give a shit and it's gonna call right for right too. You can't just put a hood motherfucker and be like, I'm gonna let everybody do anything.
Exactly.
You gotta be somebody that's ready to enforce some shit. Like, nah, we're not gonna do that. And I'm explaining to you why like, hey, listen, I'm here to help shut this down before they come. Because they come, their approach is gonna be different. I'm here to
get people out there. You gotta get people out there that give a shit. That's the thing, is you gotta ice that fucking beef. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Be about it. Word life. Oh man, but it's promise and scariness all in the same shit, man.
I feel you. But some of those documentaries that you're talking about, we gotta have like you watch it, I'll watch it, and we gotta have P watch it, and then we'll
send it to him. I'm gonna send it because the Harlem Hellfighters, man. It was an interesting one, man. I'm gonna find a clip I watched. I think it was like an hour or 40 something minutes. So
yeah, that'd be good to come back and do a review.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send you the link. I gotta fly and grab my Mama Dukes.
No doubt. All right, we'll be back next week. Throw the dub up.
All right, G.
All right, man.